us today. Hello friends, and welcome to my channel. This week is geared for teachers and parents. Students can listen, but the kid video will be next week. And I'll talk to you guys then if you don't want to watch that. And I will link the video down below that I did last week, but I read Last Stop on Market Street. And in that story, main characters, CJ and his Nana, help out as soup kitchen at the end of the story. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about how you can help others. You might need a service project. You might want to enlighten your kids on how things are in the world, how other people live. You might want to help someone in your community or in the classroom. Helping others makes you more empathetic to their plight. You can give those who are in need a little dignity when we reach out and help. I have a few ideas for you. In the book, they talked about the soup kitchen. Now, if you go to an actual soup kitchen, you do need to make an appointment and work that out with the soup kitchen. A lot of times there's a lot of people, especially closer to the holidays, that they have a lot of people helping. I also want you to think about maybe doing something in the off season when it's not the holidays, because it's nice when people think about helping in the holidays, but it's nicer when we can do it all year long. Another thing is helping out with a canned food drive. When my husband lost his job, he was out of work for 2.5 years, and there were times when we didn't have food in our pantry. It got very bare. During the time when my husband was out of work, we started an organization called Sojourners Hope. And we did that because we had our church supporting us and doing so much for us, but we realized there was a lot of people that were also out of work and needed some help. So I made a Facebook page, and I also made a website. The website's no longer up, but what we did is we put something on, like, let's say a family needed something. They knew they were having a baby, and they just didn't have the money to try to get all the things that they needed for the new baby. And so we put it on that page and helped get the word out, and then people would donate. And people really liked to do this part of it. People liked when I said there was somebody that was in the military, and people would say, oh, I was in the military, or my dad's in the military, or just whatever it was that they connected to that person, and it made it a little bit more personal, and people really liked doing that. You could put it on your PTO page, or if your PTO has a Facebook page. Blessing bags. I'm going to post a picture over my face of what the blessing bags look like. I was going to show it to you, and I cannot find one, which is good, means we've passed them out. But let me explain the thought behind it. Sometimes you see homeless people on the side of the road, or when you stop to get off the freeway off-ramp. And there might be a spot that in particular that you see people in your neighborhood, or when you go driving, you want to do something for them. You can give them money, and that is fine. But we wanted to try to think about how we could help people. So it really got me thinking about it. And I saw somewhere, and I wish I could give someone credit for this, but I just saw a little baggie with stuff inside of it. And so I'm going to show you that picture. We do the baggie a little different. I'm going to show you a picture from Pinterest that got me the idea. But I'm going to list down below all the things that we put in ours. My church makes them every so often, and we fill them up with things that people around here need. Like, we live in Arizona, so we need water. So we have a water bottle in ours. We try to do things that won't melt because it does get hot during the summer, or even in the spring and fall here. Your car gets hot, so you leave the bag in your car, and then you can pass it out to people when you see people. Now, if you're a teacher and you're doing this in class, you can put it out on Sign Up Genius and ask parents to donate. If your neighborhood families that you reach could not do that, if that would be hard on them, then I would talk to PTO, or maybe even to you could talk to like Walmart or other store in your area that might donate some of the items. Walmart, when I was at the elementary school, we would get Walmart to donate things to certain things that we would do at school. So they have a certain amount each month. So make sure that you go and talk to them. That if they say no, go back the next month, find out what it is, and get them to donate. And because they like to give back. I didn't check with Target, but I'm sure they would do it as well. Just be persistent. This stuff takes a lot of legwork, takes a lot of planning, but it is really helpful to those who you reach out to. If you're doing this for your own family, then that would be easy peasy. You can get it yourself. The number one thing that homeless people want are black socks. Well, they're socks, but when we first started, we were putting white socks in, and then somebody brought black socks to one of the service Sundays when we were making the bags, and all of a sudden it clicked with me that, well, yeah, that would be the better color to get because they aren't able to wash up as often, and it doesn't show the dirt and all of that. So through trial and error, we've learned some things. The other thing that I started thinking about, because I saw a show about homeless women out on the street. Women, children on the streets, when they're homeless, they have to deal with periods. So what I was thinking getting an old purse. This is something I'm just starting to think about. Get an old purse, put a couple of different things in there for their feminine hygiene needs, and then also put a blessing bag in that purse. And you could do like a shopping bag. They have those reusable shopping bags now, but I think this would be so nice and just give them that dignity that they would really appreciate having a new purse, new to them purse. And so think about that and how you could do that. If you had older kids, they could make the purses. And so just think about that as another opportunity to reach out. In the same vein of thinking, if there's a family that you see out that need help, a diaper bag would be a good idea. An old diaper bag, put baby needs in there as well as feminine hygiene needs, and then you can put your blessing bag into that and then give them the whole thing. And they would really appreciate that. Like I said, I'm thinking about my families and my community that I work in. I'm sure they have some of those things in their closet, and it would be easy to put it in the car, and then when you see someone in need, easy peasy, put that blessing bag in there. If you're doing this with your school, I would let the families know about the purses and the diaper bags, because then that way they can do that at home. But first start with the blessing bag so that everybody gets a blessing bag, and then give them that other information that they can do in addition to it. Also with the blessing bags, our church, we have a realtor that's sponsoring our blessing bags, and he made a paper that has all of the places where people can go to get help. And so he has looked at that, he's researched it, he's called numbers to find out if those people are open and they really help and what they do. And so it's just a list of resources, and it's such a great idea because that will help them. Now it's going to be different for you and your area, so that would be something for you to look up and look into, and maybe if you have older kids, have them look into that, students. The other thing we did was a giving event. Like I said, when my husband was out of work, or maybe I didn't say it yet, but our church helped us a lot. We would not have made it without their help. And so we saw that there are other people needing help, but they might not have the support group like we have. So we came up with, we were thinking about how to reach out to people. And the idea of having like a garage sale came to mind. And the community that I work in is very affluent. I think I said that before. But between my church and my the school that I used to work at, we brought in a bunch of things on a Friday. And my thought when I first was thinking about it was everybody would have tickets, and whatever they brought in, let's say they brought 5 things in, they can take 4 things out. And that's where my thinking was. But thankfully, that all went aside. So it was just bring whatever, take whatever, and call it a giving event. And so, like I said, we would have one day at my school on a Friday. And so I would ask my boss, my principal, to go and like an hour before school ended, organize everything. And I'd get the NJHS students to come in and help. And because my daughter had done it before, I'd have her come help. And so she would know what to do, and so we would have it so that it was done by the end of school. But I would have the family, 8 family or whatever families were in need, to go first. And so I would ask around and find out those people. And then it was open to everybody else, and they could come and get things. This is a good thing to have right before Christmas, because a lot of people donated toys and clothes, and it was just kind of it was a lot of stuff. And then we would pack up all those things on Friday, and then Sunday morning we would bring all those things to our church. And our church was also in another school, and we would, again, social media blast, let everybody know that we are having this event and they could come and shop for free. And so we got all kinds of people coming in. One year we had a family that had just lost their home, their mobile home, in a fire. and they needed everything. And so we just happened to have a TV that year, a fridge, just dishes, and they got clothes. They took several trips to take everything out to their car, and then they came back for more because they took the big stuff, and then they could kind of thing that we wanted to do. We wanted to reach out, and it was just, we let people know, and that's how it happened. We did have one time when there was a family that came and they needed a double wide stroller, and we didn't have one there. So again, I put it out a blast using the Sojourners Hope and my regular Facebook page, and a friend, my friend Nicole, said, I have a double wide stroller, and I got it from her, and then I gave it to that family. So you just need to think about how this can help, how you can help others. Recently, one day at church, my friend Debbie said, we really need to start thinking about the Afghanistan refugees and how we can help them here in the United States, especially in Arizona, because that's where we are. But it really got me thinking of how we can help. I'd love for this channel to take off so I can do more things, like what I talked about, serving others. Click this video if you like it, and subscribe if this is something that you would like to see more of. I would love to see below anything that you would like to try, or if you have questions, please share them with me, and I will try to explain whatever might not have been very clear. Thank you so much for watching the video. Bye.